the same, isn't it?
It's the same. Cool.
I moved back in my office today. We'll see if my animals cooperate today.
Let's see if what?
My animals cooperate. Piper always thinks she needs to go to the bathroom during Bead Maker and Coffee, and then now the cat can get to me. So
that's funny though.
Normally she climbs all over the couch behind me, but in here she can get to me. So we'll see if they cooperate. I told Piper to go back to bed. What'd you do this weekend, Chris? Did you go to any car shows?
Didn't do much at all. No car shows. I was too lazy to get out of bed yesterday.
Yeah, well, that's good. Sometimes you need that.
Did a lot of house cleaning on Saturday.
Cool.
And yesterday was just kind of a mixture of little odds and ends.
Nice. We ordered, those big like entrance flags. I don't know what they call them. Like the little flags for advertising that you put in the ground.
Yeah.
So we made the entrance to the car shows in the orchard, and so out somewhere on Siemens Gulch, there's like a gate that you can drive through. So we ordered these 2 big flags to be the entrance, and I'll have to send you the proofs of them. They're going to be super cool.
Oh, cool.
I'm super excited about it.
And you did all right with the poster printing
file?
Yeah,
they turned out great. Yep, thank you. They turned out so good. And we had Fastbind print them. And they printed them on this poster board that's like glossy poster board. It looks so good. It's really, really good. Yeah, thank you. They turned out awesome. Awesome. And we ordered the dash plaques, and I think we ordered everything the other day. So the last thing I need to do is I need to do a whole new PNS t-shirt order. So I've got to get that out to everybody because there's so many people coming.
Awesome. All right.
We've had some interesting questions. Just the same way.
The cat's already in here, rubbing her face all over my computer monitor. Rubbing her cheeks on the corner of it. Can you see it moving?
Yeah.
She loves the Zoom. I think she likes the heat that the room light puts off. I think that's what she was thinking. So get all your scrubbing out of the way. We got 1 minute and 21 seconds.
Then we have to figure out a way of doing
Corey is in Oregon.
What was that?
I was just telling you Corey is in Oregon.
Different Corey, actually, I think.
Oh, is it a different Corey too?
Yeah.
Oh no, that's the right one.
No, never mind. It's the right one.
Good morning, Corey. Corey's coming to Big Bear soon, isn't he?
Well, I guess that's why I thought maybe it was a different one. Nope, same one. Yeah. Isn't it? Hold on a second here.
Okay.
Anyway, he's supposed to be in Big Bear right now.
Oh,
that's why it surprised me he was on. I hope he's really there.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. The Rag Company joined us. Good morning, Rag Company. think it's usually Gabe.
Hi, Gabe.
Cool. How is everybody? Corey's waiting for the bus.
All right, that's a minivan this week.
Awesome. Well, have a good week, Corey. That's super exciting. All right. Well, how's everyone doing? How's everyone's weekend?
Hi, Rick.
That
Well, I think you had a busy weekend.
I did,
I kind of
I
had a
did.
little bit more of a relaxed weekend, hanging out with my girls. My
Cool.
wife was busy running a Ragnar relay
Nice.
race.
So you were alone with the girls. That's fun.
Yeah, we did
I'm
have
jealous of
a good
everybody's
time.
nice weather. We still don't have spring. Well, this morning it kind of looks springy, but it's going to rain later. But I'm jealous of everybody doing spring stuff.
Yeah, you have a good story about the bad weather. I know
Yeah.
we'll talk about that later.
Did you see the cat ears?
So this weekend, Sydney was with Bob Phillips at Budco in Salt Lake, Utah. You want to talk a little bit about Budco and what happened before we get into our
Sure.
Stories?
Yeah, so we had a really great weekend. We were in Salt Lake City at Budco Distributing. They're a longtime distributor of PNS products and just really great partners in the industry. Shad is on the board of the IDA, so that was a nice addition to kind of be able to talk about that and stuff while we were at the training. But so we had a ceramic coating training. We ended up having 20 guys, which was a lot for one of these events, but we wanted to try to get everybody in. So that was super exciting. They were super eager group of detailers, always just awesome people over there in Utah. And so Bob Phillips came and joined us for the training, which was so awesome, such a treat for these guys, and always a good time. And we just had a super successful training. It was just really nice. It worked out really good. We worked on 2 Toyota RAV4s, and we used all 4 products from the Inspiration family, and it was just awesome. Love the coating events. They're super great.
Looks like you had a really good turnout. I think you were
Yeah.
turning people away.
Yeah. Yep. Shad said he did have to turn some people away and have them wait till the next one. But it was crazy. Lots of lots of new, they'd all been in the industry probably, I would say 19 of them was less than 2 years. And then one, was I think he'd probably been in the industry 19, 20 years. But man, just really great guys, super eager to get going. Definitely have the skills though. They all were, super comfortable with the polisher and, all dove in. It was really a good event.
That's really cool. You have
Yeah.
the industry that's growing like crazy, a lot of new
Mhm.
guys, and then you
Yeah.
have an old dog
Mhm.
learning new tricks
Yeah.
and learning from you and Bob. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Our
Yeah.
industry is really growing.
Yep.
And there's lots of good questions that have been
Mhm.
popping up on social media lately.
Yeah.
And maybe I can bring a few of those up later. But
Mhm.
I'm going to talk about what I did this week with my details, and then you
Yeah.
can talk about your fun situation.
Crazy week. Yeah.
So, my
Cool.
guys and I have been wanting to play with a wide open all terrain wash more and more.
Yeah.
We decided that this week we would use it on everything we washed: RVs, boats, cars. We used it on a fleet on Saturday. So we used wide open and we just really enjoyed it. I think it worked.
Mhm.
I wouldn't say better than Pearl, but different than Pearl.
Mhm.
And some of the vehicles, it made it nice for drying. Some of the vehicles, it cut through the grime a little bit more, but we just noticed a difference and we enjoyed it. So wide open was kind of our experiment this week. We've used
Mhm.
it a lot in the past, but not in its current color.
Mhm.
We were using it during the testing phase of the product
Mhm.
line. So wide open worked great. Works great on
Cool.
everything.
Cool.
not just the off-road vehicles. So
Yeah. Yeah.
we had fun with it.
I love it. I love it too. I haven't been able to use it too much just because I don't typically do the foaming washes or even bucket washes, right? But on that one Ford, I think it was what was it, an F-350 that I used it on that was really not in great shape at all. It just looked amazing. Absolutely looked amazing. Ate through all the dirt and just left a really nice finish. So loved it. Loved it. So the product that got me out of a jam this week was, still and is, we always joke about how I say my favorite, but this truly is my favorite, right? Because not only is it the product that introduced me to P&S Detail Products, but I think that's probably the case for a lot of people, but it truly, truly is still my favorite product to this day. So Bead Maker. Bead Maker got me out of such a big jam this week that could have just been crazy. So a couple weeks ago, I had a brand new sprinter van, huge, camper stuff. I mean, what's that actual term? I don't even know. I mean, it's a sprinter van,
It,
but it's fully equipped
yeah,
to camp.
it's a van RV. They're kind of
Yeah.
like Class B is what they
Yeah.
are.
Yeah. Yeah. So fully decked out, super nice. It was new. And so when the customers bought it, they wanted to get it, ceramic coated right away. And so the earliest I could get them in was 2 weeks ago. And then we ended up having snow like in the middle of April. So, I looked ahead at the weather on the trusty weather app, and it was said that all last week here in Boise was going to be great. 65, sunny, kind of overcast some days, but it was supposed to be fine. So I went ahead and rescheduled it for one of my days off. So I scheduled it last Tuesday. And, and obviously, I think most of you know, I work alone. I don't have a helper. And generally, I'm used to working inside. I'm not used to working out in the elements. So this van, because it had the lift up top, and air conditioner and satellite and everything on top. So it absolutely could not fit in my garage. It couldn't even fit in my RV bay. So I was committed to working outside. So woke up that morning, the van was in my driveway and it was pouring, absolutely pouring. So it kept raining until about 2 p.m. And then I got the glass polished, got it washed, got the glass polished. And, the weather app kept saying no more rain, 0%, 0%. At like 3 o'clock, torrential downpour, and it rained until 5. So anyway, I got it. It took me another day and a half to finish the sprinter van because of the rain and wind, and it was crazy. So both Tuesday, Wednesday night, I worked until 10:30, right? So I get the van done at 10 p.m. on Wednesday, return the van to the customers, and we're like, we're good. There's no more rain. Well, right before I returned it, it was late at night and the weather app said it was going to be totally fine for the next couple days. So the thought crossed my mind, like, do I really need, because I put legend on it. So I forgot to mention that. So did legend, and we're talking view on all the glass around the entire van, which was, around the entire middle, plastic around the entire bottom. So I had put inspiration on all the plastic moldings and then view on all the glass, and legend was on all the paint. So the thought had crossed my mind. The weather says it's going to be fine. I don't think I really need to go over it with Bead Maker, which, when in the coating world, we kind of consider that the insurance, sealant, right? To protect the
Yeah.
coating while it's curing. And part of me was almost like, I don't think I need to do the Bead Maker. I mean, it's like 9:30 at night, and you're kind of like, do I really need to do that? I mean, this is a big van that I'm gonna have to go back around in the dark with Bead Maker. So I considered not doing it. And then I thought, it's been a crazy week with the weather. I better just do it and make sure that I'm on the safe side, insurance, right? So wiped the entire thing down, all the glass, all the plastic. I even put Bead Maker on all the plastic moldings, did the whole thing and did it right. And then sure enough, at midnight, torrential downpour. So we're talking the legend hasn't even been on there 3.5 hours. And it just starts torrential downpour and it pours the entire night. Then we get like the bright sun in the morning. So I knew that there was no way I was going to be able to get over to it before the sun hit it. So I was super nervous. So I got down there about 10 o'clock the next morning. And of course, it was bone dry, not it, no water left to mop up. And I was really worried about what I was going to find. I thought I'm going to be recoating this whole thing today. And it was perfect. Perfect.
Nice.
Not a spot on the paint anywhere. The glass had, obviously the rain had dried on the glass, but it was easy, like just glass cleaner, wipe it up, nothing permanent. The plastics even like kind of looked like they had some streaks, but as soon as I hit them with paint gloss and wiped them, perfect. So the moral of my story here is Bead Maker literally saved my bacon on that, and it saved not just mine, but it saved the Sprinter too. But that was literally the visual of why we kind of do that insurance layer with Bead Maker while we're allowing the coatings to cure. So I just was like, wow, that was so great. And I'm so thankful for this product. And I'm thankful that, I didn't, skip a step for sure. It definitely kind of brought me back to reality. Like, yeah, don't ever assume that you don't need that. Cause you just never know, right? You never know if what that vehicle's life is going to be in the next couple of days. And we don't want to tell customers they can't drive it. So, or, sit outside. So I just, that was really, really awesome that it was 100% good. And there was nothing I needed to do other than just clean up the glass real fast.
So this is a good lesson for any detailers that
Mm-hmm.
you don't have the ability to keep a customer's car in your garage or your shop
Right.
overnight because
Mm-hmm.
one, it's taking up either your personal space or space for the next day's client.
Yeah.
So if you hit it with Bead Maker and send it on its way and they park it indoors, hopefully to cure properly.
Yeah.
Even in bad situations, that Bead Maker layer protects the coating enough so that it can do its curing. I was telling Sydney once I had a Tesla that I did the same thing. We coated it and then I put Bead Maker on it and I had to get it out. I was actually leaving town the next day and I could not keep this in my garage. The guy wanted it back. So I drove to his house in the rain, dropped off the Tesla. I pulled out, back then it was my little battery powered flex blower, little one. And I blew the whole Tesla dry, super hydrophobic, went around, wiped the windows off, double checked it with some lights. Perfect. So to say that a car can't get wet after a coating isn't exactly true. You can't let water dry on a vehicle. It'll leave those spots and rings. So use Bead Maker as that insurance policy, as that barrier, and you'll protect the coating so it can cure properly. That's awesome. I know some guys, they actually cover cars in plastic after they coat them, which scares me because like if the wind blows, it chafes. But it's going to be hard to cover a big Dodge ProMaster in plastic.
Yeah. It
Sounds like you are ready for a barn dominium.
I know, right? Right. I just need somewhere. If I could keep everybody little, protected inside, that would be great. But it was a crazy week.
He's working towards that, raising the prices.
Yep. It was a crazy week.
That was good. It was
all right. Well, we have a ton of good morning. So good morning, everybody. I know Chris has been trying to keep up on saying good morning to everybody, but thanks guys for joining us. Very nice. Lots of the West Coast too. You guys are warriors getting up this early.
Keith on here under PNS Detail Products, running that for us. So let's get into some questions.
Yeah.
Unless there's anything else to bring up, maybe are there any more trainings coming up in the next few weeks? I have one today. I'm headed to Hot Wax this morning down in Orange County, California. So as soon as we're done here, I'm getting on my way.
That's awesome. And then Chris, do we have PNS Hayward? Is that this week or not till next week? I think it's next week.
It's next week.
Next Tuesday. Yeah. Cool.
Yep.
Yeah. And
Rennie's doing a class today.
Yep.
All week.
I was going to say there is on the PNS side of things. Yeah. The 13th. Oh, well, May 13th. That's the very next one coming up.
Okay.
That is at Josh Pierce's shop.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys can talk about that a little bit because we still have some room in that one.
I'm glad
Cool.
we brought that up. Let's talk about
Yeah.
it.
So that's one that Prentice is going on the road, right? He's going to Iowa City to Josh Pierce's shop. And he's kind of taking the detail studio program that he does on the road, right? It's detail skills training.
This one is coating.
Okay, ceramic. Perfect.
Yep.
Awesome. Good. That'll be super fun. So if you guys are near there, check into that. That's going to be super awesome. Josh is great. We had him on the show a couple weeks ago, knows a lot about the products, big, PNS user. And then, Prentice is traveling there. That's going to be awesome. I'm excited to see how that turns out, and that'll be super fun.
And then on the 16th, I'll be going and supporting one of our distributors. Uber Detail is going to be doing a headlight restoration class.
Cool.
So I'll go and assist the owners at Uber Detail in Corona
Nice.
with their headlight class on that Monday.
Very good.
Sure. I think they're putting a flyer out soon.
Cool. Very good. And then just one last thing that I want to bring up is we have that huge Auto Geek event where Auto Geek is coming to PNS at the end of June. If you haven't seen our flyers about that, make sure you check that out. That is going to be really awesome. We've got, we will be there for kind of a extreme one day. Instructors are Rennie, myself, Justin Lobato, and Robin Sweet from Auto Geek. Awesome crew. It's going to be so much fun. And then the night before that, so that's Friday, I believe the 24th, and then Thursday, the 23rd from 4 to 7, there's an open house at PNS Hayward. So if you are in the Bay Area or want to make a trip, that'll just be really fun. Just, everything will be open. Everybody can take a tour and, hang out with everybody that's there. It's going to be really a great event. I'm really looking forward to that one.
I think we need a new infographic that I can put on the Instagram stories for that one. The one that's on the post doesn't fit the stories very well.
Oh,
the sizing isn't
okay.
correct. So maybe we can work on that to promote it. But yeah, that's cool.
You're talking for the Auto Geek?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Auto Geek coming to PNS, that's big. You bring in Florida to Northern California. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that one. That's going to be fun.
Lucky.
Very cool. All right, should we get started into some questions here?
Yeah,
here's a good one to start with.
Awesome. All right, so came across a video with someone using Clean Maker, but didn't go into detail about it. I believe he said 10-to-1 Bead Maker and Dream Maker, but what are the benefits of that?
That's our buddy Jamie.
Yeah, so that was actually Jamie the cleaner. He did several TikToks about it, which he then posts to Instagram. It's a really interesting combo, and from the PNS side, we always say, we know that there's people out there mixing stuff up. I have used this. It does work very well. I enjoy using it. I think the benefits, that I can see is that you just kind of get more of the experience of the Dream Maker wipe off. And so, but yes, that's the dilution that he uses. And, we know people are out there mixing stuff up. So
I hear it's pretty awesome. It sounds like what you're doing is adding a little bit more body to the Bead Maker, a little thicker product. And so give it a try if you're interested. It's not something we're going to go around promoting, but definitely love hearing this mixology story. That's for sure.
Yep. Cool.
All right.
Hey guys, I'm on to the next one.
Yeah, you're good. I'm just reading comments.
Me too. There's a funny one.
Yes, there's still room in the class, Terry.
Yes, Terry, I was actually going to send you a message and make sure that you knew about that. So Abraham says, if I'm doing Legend as a base, then Inspiration as a top coat, do I need to wait 4 hours for the base coat to cure? So you never want to do that. Never do that.
Give it, if you're going to put
Well, you don't
So you
want to
put
use
legend.
inspiration as a top coat. So
Yeah, yeah,
only Soul is a top coat. So let's
yeah. So they
start
don't
there.
blend well together.
Yeah, Legend does not, or Inspiration does not go over Legend. So you never want to use both of those on the same paint. You want to choose one or the other as your base, and then you're going to use Soul as your top coat. And you don't need to wait 4 hours. So it's 45 minutes. So whether you do 2 coats of Legend, 2 coats of Inspiration, or Legend and Soul, or Inspiration and Soul, it's just 45 minutes for that second coat. And then the beauty of using Soul as your top coat is, so if you're using 2 Inspiration, let's hypothetically say you need to wait 2 hours to put Bead Maker on. If you're doing Inspiration and Soul, so Soul is your top coat, you only need to wait about 30 to 45 minutes to put Bead Maker on. So that's kind of the part of the beauty of using Soul as your top coat, is it really advances the time for when you can apply Bead Maker. So no 4 hours, you should be good. Just I always just go rule of thumb is 45 minutes for everything in between whatever layers you're doing. So
Yeah. That Inspiration Soul or Legend Soul, but don't do Soul Legend or Inspiration
yeah.
and Legend, or Legend Inspiration.
Yeah. Yep. For whatever reason,
Anytime.
I don't
Thanks
know
for
the
asking
science
me.
behind it, but they just don't. I think it's just they're too different. I don't know. It doesn't work. I've tried it. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It's not great. All right. So then the next one, Cynthia, could you recommend the best compounds and polishes to use when working in the sun, mobile, cars and marine, please? So Kyle, that's definitely you.
Nothing works great in the sun. Try and get out of the sun if you want to be happy. I've had luck with most of our products in the sun, like doing a boat. Kyle's boat in our viewer store works okay, or works good in the sun, but you have to use more product. It's going to dry faster. But it also helps you on that wipe off, because if you cycle the product long enough, because it's drying, it literally buzzes and it's gone on its final passes. But try and get out of the sun. When the product starts to evaporate, its workability is diminished. I will recommend a technique. Do not put the product on your pad and dab it all over the place. That's probably one of the worst things you can do as far as um, allowing product to begin to evaporate too soon. Put it on the pad, put the pad on the panel, cycle it, allow it to spread throughout the pad, kind of a priming, and then go ahead and begin your passes. When you spread product out, you're going to fling it. You're also going to let the product begin to evaporate. So, but compounds, Ego Maker, is going to work like other compounds in the sun. The sun creates issues no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
And it depends on the paint. If it's black paint, the paint's going to be hotter. I've done ultra coat polish outside in the sun. It worked pretty freaking awesome. It has really good long workability, but Playmaker for me didn't work as good in the sun. It was drying out too fast. So hopefully that answers your questions.
Last week, so for the couple hours that I had sun when I was compounding that Sprinter van, one thing that I did was I used, I would just shoot 1 squirt of paint gloss on my pad in between, and that just kind of helped keep the product just a little bit, from drying out. It gave me it gave me a couple minutes of extra working time. So you could try that too.
I used Clarity Cream the other day on an RV in the sun.
Mm-hmm.
I had to use a lot of Clarity Cream because it was dusting a lot because it was drying so fast.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the other side of the RV when it was in the shade, and I did those windows, and the Clarity Cream worked better. I used less product and there was a lot less dusting
Mhm.
because the glass wasn't hot.
Mhm.
So, that was it was frustrating because I was using so much clarity cream on
Mhm.
this RV, but being in the shade made a huge difference.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you brought up Clarity Cream, I have to mention really fast, this is kind of a shameless plug for our TikTok channel, but, you guys have to go check out I really had, like, honestly, like, one of the craziest weeks in my whole, career. You have to go check out our TikTok. Last week, I had an F350 that had one window that was one solid water spot, like, no kidding, one solid water spot. And I used Clarity Cream on it, and, I had no idea how it was gonna work out, and, so I did a test spot, and it's insane. So you guys gotta go check that out. It's pretty cool.
Someone, since you brought that up, someone brought up which pad you were using.
Oh, cool. I didn't
Um,
even see that. Cool.
yeah, not on here. They brought it up on our social media
Oh, okay. Cool.
when you posted the video up. And
Nice.
so in the
So I
video, you were
used,
using a
and
lamb's
Kyle will have
wool.
to tell us the actual name because I just called him whatever I wanna call him.
You were
So
using
I
the
used
PNS, right?
what?
The PNS lamb's wool.
No, I used the Buff and Shine, the, gray is it called the gray Euro wool?
Yeah, it's the blended wool.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah. So I used the
synthetic
gray wool.
wool
And believe it or not, then in another spot, I tried to switch to, the PNS wool, and there's something about the gray that it cut so much more. It was amazing. So I went between that and the, Buff and Shine maroon
okay.
foam.
Yeah, that's
Both
my
of those did a
go-to
really
maroon.
great job on that vehicle. So yeah. And then as a follow-up to that TikTok, I did a follow-up with, different pads that's always one of the biggest questions is what pad can I use with Clarity Cream? So I kind of went through that too, but really the answer is any. I mean, you can literally use any. So it's kind of great. You adjust, your cutting and I do find that certain pads they just work different in different scenarios. So yeah, that's the great part is you can kind of play around with it on pads. So cool. All right. So I think this is funny.
Clarity cream for the win.
This has come up a lot. I see a lot of people chatting about this on social media. So any way to remove sand without the massage gun. So we've all seen those videos. So that is a great way, but
It's pretty
honestly,
ingenious.
yeah, but before the massage gun, I know Kyle, you use your flex tool, right? And don't you put it on there so that it vibrates the sand up?
Yeah.
And I just use a
So
20
actually, what
milligram,
I
but
do, yeah. So I tried my flex, the free spin, right? Not the
uh-huh.
forced,
Right.
the XFE, and it worked great, but it's a little big.
Mhm.
So what I ended up switching over to was I have a Rupes Duetto
Mm.
because it's more compact. It's like a really nice version of a Porter
Mhm.
cable.
Mhm.
That works really good. So
Mhm.
I just kind of stuck it to the carpet, turned it on, and it just started, vibrating and shaking.
Mhm.
Um, and then I just started vacuuming around, and it
Mhm.
it worked really good.
Mhm.
You don't want the pad to spin,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it did really good job there.
Yeah. Yeah. So
So then
the
remove the
cool thing about the
polisher.
massager though is that honestly, I mean, I have a nice one. If you're wanting to use it for true body massage, I wouldn't get the cheap one, but I've seen those massage guns on Amazon for like 15 bucks. I'm sure they don't do anything for the body, but they would probably help you with that. So, you might want to look into investing in a super cheap one. I know I keep seeing those videos and I have a really nice one. So for me, I'm like, I'm not putting that in someone's car.
I almost
So I
want to
haven't
go
tried
and
that yet.
get something really sandy and try that out. I haven't done that
Yeah.
in a while.
Yeah.
But so once you get all the sand out, you want to get the rest of the sand, the residue, spray the carpet with paint gloss,
Yeah.
and then give it its final vac.
Yep.
And that will like be perfect way to finish
Mhm.
it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Those
yeah, that's
videos were
pretty.
cool though.
Yeah,
That's been
I've
crazy.
seen some really. There's some pretty. I mean, I almost think that one of those videos, someone literally poured sand in it just
Yeah,
to
because
make the
there's a lot of
video.
sand, isn't there? Yeah. Yeah.
There was one that there was a ton of sand.
Mhm. Yep. It's pretty wild. But that's a great question. But I would look at just getting one of those super cheap ones, trying it out. I haven't tried it yet though.
Sorry, I
All
got
right.
yell at the
So
kids.
this is a great question. What's the theory on why you would put Soul on top of Legend or Soul as the second coat? So Legend, and it's great on Inspiration too, but so your base layer, which is the layer that we want to do the most work. So that is where your high solids are. And that is the layer that's doing the work. So you want that. And then the thought behind putting Soul on top is that Soul is more flexible. So, as we drive our cars, obviously they move, the metal moves, the sun, it heats up the panels, they cool down. So there's just a lot of shifting in that paint. And so if we give it a really good, strong base layer and then Soul on top is allowed to kind of flex, it protects that base layer. And one of the other reasons I like using Soul is because it gives that immediate kind of pop and glow that we've always said that your coatings, Inspiration or Legend, will become more glossy over a couple days as it cures. And Soul gives that immediate, high glow. So I like using it for that too. But it really is that the two work together, and then your top layer is really flexible. And then even Bead Maker on top of that is even more flexible. And so it just creates this kind of like harmony in the way that that coating reacts to movement and all flexing. And so we have found that that's the best method, and that it's going to keep the coating, it's going to help it last the longest because it is allowed to flex a little bit. So and what's kind of cool is that Soul as the topper, it does last longer when based with Inspiration or Legend than if Soul was on its own. So when we say that Soul is a 1-year coating, that would be as a standalone. But really what I'm finding, because we've had them out for a couple of years now, and I have always done Soul on top of Inspiration or Legend. And when those vehicles are coming back in, the Soul is still present, even, a year and a half, 2 years later. So, that is it's just the combo that is helping the coatings react better and last longer. So, I know there's a whole science explanation behind it that Michael Hill could do for us, but that's my best.
That's what we need to say is we
Yeah.
have a good friend who's a
Mhm.
physicist, and he says so, and so
Mhm.
we listened.
Yeah. Yep.
He's tested this
Mhm.
and given us the best formula for success with a
Yeah.
coating, and testing, and using different types of environmental testing on the coatings.
Mhm.
And this is where the best results are for us. And so we've taken his advice, and it's actually
Mhm.
knocking it out of the park. So
Yeah.
we got to thank our friend Michael.
Yep. For sure. It's a great question.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Up next, what is the recommended application for PNS interior cleaner? It's getting a little bit streaky after wiping off, and I'm just wondering if it's my application or other factors. So I'm assuming he's talking about Express.
Yeah. I've never had Express streak unless it's on like a piano finish or like a screen, right?
Mhm.
Um, it, if I had a dirty towel or something, maybe one of my polishing towels got mixed in there. I've left some product behind because it
Mhm.
transferred.
Yeah. The
But
other thing I think I would try is dilute it 1-to-1. Express is really meant to be used at 1-to-1. You can certainly use it full strength when you need to, but I think that it wipes off a lot, easier and still does a great job cleaning when diluted at 1-to-1. The majority of the issues that I have heard people have is if they're using it full strength, and there's just certain interiors that, at full strength, it is just a little bit, not that it's causing any permanent streaking, but it's leaving behind some surfactants and things like that. So I would definitely try cutting it 1-to-1. And then, depending on, there's lots of different methods to use it. You can use it with, are you, scrubbing the surface with a brush or, a scrub ninja or something like that. And then I would wipe it with a wet towel just to make sure that you're removing all of the express. Or like in my case, I generally am, doing my pre-scrubbing with it, getting everything clean with a brush or scrub ninja, and then I use my steamer. and that kind of breaks down all of the cleaner, and then I wipe it away with a dry towel. So I would figure out, one, I would start with diluting it 1-to-1, and then my question would be is, what are you using to work the cleaner in? Because I don't think you'd want to just be spraying it and just doing one wipe. Then I think you are probably leaving behind uneven amounts of the cleaner is probably what's causing the streaking. Kind of want to get it all worked in.
Yeah. It just depends on the surface and your dilution. So I do dilute express about 1-to-1 most of the time. Sometimes I let it go a little stronger. You have employees and they think that if 1-to-1's great, full strength is better.
Yep.
They don't like to dilute things down.
Yeah. Yep.
So let's talk about
Morning, Anthony. Anthony
questions. You there?
Yeah.
Okay. So we've had a lot of questions lately popping up about ambassadorship. It's been a big question on our Instagram a lot.
Always, isn't it?
And it's interesting. I know Justin and I with Sydney a couple months ago, we brought this up, and it just keeps coming more and more. So let's talk about that for a second. How PNS does brand ambassadorship. We don't really have an official program like the rag company does with their brand ambassadors, but we do like doing special projects and doing nice things for our fans. Those people who, we've done it a lot in the past and always are looking for those super fans or PNS aficionados, whatever we want to call them. But we do get that question asked a lot. Basically, people asking for free product. And so especially right now with, like you said, at your event, there were so many new detailers. That tends to be the number one question from people that don't really have, how do I say it? Much content at all, not even followers, just content out there. But the number one thing you can do if you're going to email or message us and you're looking for some sort of brand ambassadorship, make sure you're actually following our social media pages. That is the first thing I do. When I go on and I see someone asking for that, if they're not already following us or engaged, the answer is going to be. If we want to support our friends and our fans and be genuine and authentic, we that's what we're looking for too. So if that answers some of those questions out there, guys, be authentic, be a fan, show some love and earn the love back. We are always looking for that. We're super excited to do that. We bring that. We bring people up during our marketing meetings often. And I love you too, Anthony Ta. But that's not enough.
That's great.
Always, and still drinking the Kool-Aid. Mark Ibarra, you definitely are. Thanks so much for being a fan. All right, we got another question in here. A couple more just rolled in.
Oh yeah, some good ones. Perfect.
Hold on.
The girls coming in strong. Perfect. So when using Bead Maker, I've had it streak. Ways to prevent that?
Well, this question comes up often. One, do it in a nice, cool area. It doesn't have to be out of the sun all the way, but try and be out of the sun. Two, try different towels. We found that the FTW towel from the rag company works really good. It tends to just allow the right amount of air under the towel as you're wiping to burn. There's
she's just snuggling.
The FTW works great. I've also had great success with like the edgeless. I think they were the 365s. Have been work well for me.
Yeah.
But usually it's the towel.
Mhm.
And sometimes you need to spray it on a towel and the panel wipe and then buff it off with a dry towel.
Mhm.
So experiment with those towels and your environment. Depending on the heat and the humidity,
Mhm.
it can make things react different.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. The FTW, that for me is just, it never fails me. It's a highly absorbent looped towel, and it just, it picks up all that extra material. And so you can either do the 2 towel method or just the flip. The flip on the FTW works fine for me. I don't have to use 2 when I'm using the FTW. I just do the flip. So the FTW by far, and then I think the biggest one is, like Kyle said, if you do have a car that it's streaking on, spray it on the towel first. I think we all love to spray stuff on the paint. I mean, I know I do. I don't know, for whatever reason, I like to spray on the paint. But if you're having one of those fussy cars with fussy paint, just spray it on the towel. And that's usually going to help, because it's going to, I think sometimes when we spray it on the paint, there'll be just inconsistencies in the dryness of the paint, and that's what's causing that. So if you spray it on the towel, it just helps you more evenly, spread that product. So for sure, try adjusting your towel. That for me, that's usually, 95% of the time, that's usually the issue, is the towel.
We had a car a while back that was acting really finicky. It was a black, newer GM vehicle, and it left streaks all over the hood. And so I let it sit there and I let the streaks happen. What I did though is I came back with a fine mist of paint gloss and another towel, and it took all the streaks away and leveled it nicely. So you can do that as well, but it's usually the temperature, the humidity, and the towels.
Yeah.
But I don't have that problem, and I'm in Southern California, so I
The other
usually figure it out pretty quick.
Yeah. The other thing that I think is worth mentioning about the towels is, it may not be the type of towel you're using, but it may be that your towels are clogged, because that's the most important thing,
Yeah.
is that the towel absorbs. So if you've got towels that are clogged with Bead Maker, you're just spreading it around. It's kind of, at this point, the towel's sealed from the Bead Maker. So that's the other thing, is that you
Yeah.
want to do is make sure that your towels are absorbing. So, if you're using towels that used to once work with Bead Maker and now they don't, it's probably just they're clogged up, and you need to, strip them with rags to riches. So you can try that too. For me, I just think it's always towels. Somebody said humidity and temperature, and yes, absolutely. But I think that in there becomes how it absorbs in the towel. So, and again, because if you are in a real humid place, it's going to, you want it to absorb a little bit faster. So definitely, check the towels, try stripping your towels if you have ones that you like, or definitely try out the FTW from the rag company.
Yeah, throw your towels in your washer, put rags to riches in it, let it cycle a little bit, and then let it sit there and soak. That's what I do, because I have a top loader. So I just open the hood and I let it just sit there overnight and soak, and be amazed all of the stuff that just floats up to the surface, oily product that's been sitting and embedded in those towels. And then go ahead and do it the normal cycle. And then I do it one more time where I just do a regular wash with rags to riches again. And it tends to, if it's not going to fix it, then your towel's just ready for the trash can.
Yeah.
If you've just sealed it beyond repair. I've had to do that to a couple of my drying towels, because we were using Bead Maker as a drying aid and not really cleaning the drying towel enough. And it totally ruined my towel. But we were doing this, on me. So yeah, you got to rinse your towels out, use rags to riches. It'll help with the streaking problem.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm just gonna
And it's not really a problem.
I'm gonna throw this out there real quick from hiding behind the camera here. It is possible too for cars' paint to be in such bad condition from not being taken care of, to where everything's going to streak on it until you actually take time to polish it.
Very true. Very true.
So.
Yeah. If you have a dead layer of clear coat or kind of an oxidation buildup, Chris is right. you're going to have to cut off, polish it, and then be prepared to protect it. But yeah, sometimes you have to remove that layer of dead skin, right, on the paint.
Yep. Cool.
And
all right, Sarah says,
are
you guys going to have classes at Southern Detailers Conference? So yes, we actually are. And we are working on getting that listing updated. And so I believe we are at I just looked at this yesterday. I want to say 10 and 10:50. Does that sound right? On Education Day. And so I don't think we have it 100% nailed down what our courses are going to be. But yes, we have 2 and they are back to back. And I want to say it's 10:50 or it's right around that time. So right now there's kind of placeholders under PNS on the schedule of events. And so we are finalizing
we had a meeting this week where got to finalize the classes.
Yep. But Kyle and I will be there with Keith. And so, yes, absolutely. We have 2 classes and they are back to back. I know that for sure. And they're right around that 10, 11 o'clock time. So, yep, we will be there. And then Sarah also says, will there be a headlight restoration class near Illinois in the near future?
Maybe. I don't know how near is near. It's not, we have training centers all over that through Detailing Success that are doing classes, not specifically headlight restoration, but it's definitely something that could be brought up. Chris could bring to Rennie. As far as what we're doing in Southern California, that's just a distributor that's putting on a class. Utilize. For those of you who don't know, PNS has a headlight restoration kit. It's a bucket with all the sandpaper, the compound you need, polish that you need, the pads that you need. We've had it for a long time. The product great, the sandpaper works great, and so we're going to be I'm there to represent PNS and show off the kit, but I'm there to support a distributor. And if you have a distributor near you that wants to do a class, then you need to bring it up to them and have them talk to us and see what we can do. But if there's enough buzz and people wanting something, and we're not gonna overlook it. But if you get 20 people that want to do it, and you got a distributor nearby, let's see what happens.
Yep,
it'd be fun.
Yeah. And that's a good point, that a lot of those kind of, classes that we're attending that you guys hear, those really are brought on by the distributor. Even the Budco one that I did this weekend, those are when, the distributor wants to do a class. And then once they have, the interest and all of that, then they, kind of contact PNS for some backup. So definitely find your local distributor and talk to them about that, and that'll be awesome. That is cool.
I got a new one up for you.
Cool. Oh, I didn't even read that. I was reading the ones coming in on the side. So yeah, this question comes up all the time. I think I had 4 people ask me this question this weekend. When is Rags to Riches going to be available in a 5-gallon?
Start emailing. I was PNS asking that question. And we'll see if we can make that happen. No, it's something we've talked about in the past. I'll tell you what, the best way to explain why we haven't is because the pandemic and supply chain issues, which everyone uses as an excuse, but it's a legitimate reason. We had to prioritize our usage of the 5-gallon pails. We could only get so many. So if we did an entire run 500 gallons, so 105 gallons of Rags to Riches, that means we couldn't use those 5-gallon totes for other products. And the supply was limited. I think we've overcome that issue now, but we just haven't revisited this. So we can definitely bring that up and see if that's viable. I think it works best when you buy a 5 from a distributor, because you're not incurring the shipping cost of a 5-gallon pail.
Right.
But there are some distributors that are willing to ship it if you're willing to pay the freight on that. So we will bring that up again. It's been a topic, but that's the reason why is we had to prioritize where the 5 gallons, what we were filling them with.
Yep. Hans asked, how does people go through 5 gallons? You know what? It's crazy, Hans. So I had the people that this weekend, I think this is so funny that we're asking about it. It's because they wash their personal clothes in rags to riches, which I thought was so funny. I was like, okay. Which I've used rags to riches on, my kids' sports gear and things like that. But yeah, I had people this weekend that really wash all of their clothes in rags to riches. So if you think about it, that means they're probably going through, as fast as you do a gallon of Tide, right?
I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I buy rags to riches by the case, so 4 gallons.
Yep.
And I usually get about, I don't know, a little over a month out of a gallon. I wash my towels once a week. I have a lot of towels. That's why I literally have trash cans full of towels.
Yeah.
So unless I'm stripping my towels a lot, if I needed to do a really good strip of all of them, people are just wanting to stock up. They want the value because you buy a 5 gallon, you're going to save a little bit of money. And people are professional and detailers are used to buying in bulk. So
yeah,
that's
washes his work clothes with R2R.
And
that's awesome.
Anthony Ta.
Love that.
If you saw the movie Encanto, they don't talk about Bruno. We don't talk about dynamic.
Oh, here's the thing. I'll just say this about dynamic: is we miss it as much as you guys do.
Yeah. If we could fix all the issues that are going on in the world and the supply chain on certain things, especially silicone.
Yep.
Joking, Anthony. Thanks.
Yes.
When that price
then Anthony
down,
with the detailer life. Yes. Chris just responded to him. So hit up Keith Duplessis and send us when your grand opening is. Obviously I'm a big fan. I'm wearing my detailer shirt today. So yeah, check with Keith on that. Get us the dates. Obviously I would love to come, but it'll depend on the dates. So send us those dates for sure. That would be awesome. Okay, so this is a good question too. So Christopher says, talking about rags to riches, have you guys had it gel up? And Kyle, do you remember Dave had explained kind of what happened with those orange gel pieces at the bottom?
Oh, well, I had some gel up a long time ago, but it was due to the cold for me. I shook it up and it was fine. It's still, all the ingredients are still there. It still worked fine. Just put it in. But we haven't had that problem in a long time. I mean, it was last year that I had that happen. Funny thing, for some reason, my gallon had a pinhole leak in it. And because of the gelling, it stopped the leak.
That's funny. So it seems like the early gallons that were made last year are kind of the ones that have more of the gelling issue. And I do remember Dave saying he explained what happened, but I don't really remember what it was, but I know that it's not a problem. It still washes and dissolves and, acts exactly the way it's supposed to. So yeah, it just, we can see the orange gel pieces, but it's totally fine. It's totally fine. I think that's, it's one of those things that I think, I've seen that in my own laundry detergent per se, but, most of those don't come in clear gallons, so we don't really know what's going on inside there in the bottle, but it must be something that happens inside there, but it's totally fine. I know that it's absolutely fine to use and it will dissolve in the wash. Absolutely normal. And the ingredients are totally normal. So
Samantha's going to put her 2 gallons of Bead or Dynamic on eBay and just let the bedding
Chris
go.
is trying to swoop in and purchase it before he sees that.
They're already sold.
Oh man. Well, it's I mean,
that's hilarious.
I have some Dynamic too. If anyone has gold or silver, I'm looking for precious metals.
Yeah.
Or stock. in Twitter or Tesla. So
That's so funny.
Do you take Bitcoin?
yeah, I'll take a Bitcoin for that. Yeah, for sure.
That's
So,
funny.
all right, we got 5 minutes left before I have to hit the road and get down to hot wax.
Oh yeah, fun. Okay, so how well does Bead Maker hold up on extreme heat on, say, like the chrome pipes on a motorcycle? Man, I don't know how we would measure that.
I don't think it would last very long. I know Bead Maker has a much higher boiling point than a wax does because it's kind of a sealant. But I don't think that it's going to hold up under those, 300-degree exhaust pipes very long.
Yeah.
So nothing really will.
Yeah.
Unless even ceramic coatings.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say we were back east for Jersey weekend last week.
Yeah.
And both Harry and Bobby, who are pretty much our motorcycle experts, said that ceramic coating the pipes on most bikes is a complete waste of time.
Okay. Good.
That it just doesn't last, and that you need to set that expectation with your customer. So if a coating won't last, I would imagine Bead Maker won't last.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just too much heat.
Yep.
There are coatings out there you can put on them, but they are not our type of ceramic coating. They are like more like a powder coating.
Yeah. So Samantha, Hans would like to know, can he pay with stroop waffles for dynamic? Do you take any amount of stroop waffles as a trade?
Waffles.
That's
for
funny.
a gallon, I mean, those things are addicting.
What airline is it?
Is he the one that sent them?
Yeah.
I think United had them.
Is it United?
Yeah,
somebody has them.
They had them.
You can get them at Costco, but there is a difference. The ones from Costco don't have a maple flavor. The ones with a maple flavor, those are the ones you want.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
Those are the ones you had in Big Bear, Chris?
Yes.
Yeah.
The ones.
Yeah, and those are the ones that
Denmark.
What's his name from the Netherlands brought? Randy.
Those hurt.
Oh yeah. I like the little mini ones.
Yeah. Gosh.
Samantha, if you haven't tried a stroop waffle, we recommend it to see if it's worth your dynamic to you. That's hilarious.
Here's another 5-gallon question.
All right, paint coating surface prep in a 5-gallon. Awesome. I'm all about it.
Paint service prep in a 5-gallon. I don't think we have that. I don't think that will ever really happen. It's more it's gonna stay in the gallons.
Yeah.
And the pints. You can buy a case of it if you want. Buy 4 gallons. Buy a case.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not as popular demand as the other as Rags to Riches is, but that's a good idea. Now I want cockpit cleaner in a 5 one day. Oh, I love that stuff.
I know, right? That and the full send. Okay, so then Anthony
Bob's
back with
us.
I know. What's the best product to use on windows, TrueView or Paint Prep? And what's the difference? So TrueView is a true glass cleaner. Paint Prep is also a really fantastic glass cleaner. It does have some extra, materials in there and things that help, remove waxes and stuff. My thing with the Paint Prep is if you compare cost, the cost of using Paint Prep as your glass cleaner is higher than TrueView, and TrueView does a really great job. If I have a vehicle, like last week, I had that F-350 that I was working on. The inside, as the outside was covered in complete water spot, the inside was covered 100% by dog snot. So in that case, I did actually pull out the Paint Prep. So it just has a little bit more cleaning ability, a little bit more, agents in there that break stuff up. So really, it just kind of comes down to cost and really what you need. So I love Paint Prep as a glass cleaner, but, for general purposes and just general cleaning, I just use TrueView. It definitely has a faster flash and things like that. The paint prep you have to work in a little bit more. So I do jump up to paint prep when I have really, really dirty windows. But it is a great glass cleaner. But really at that point, it just kind of comes down to cost. So
Yeah, it's paint prep's ready to use.
Mhm.
TrueView is dilutable,
Yeah.
and TrueView is also more affordable in its concentrate form. So
Mhm.
you know,
Mhm.
TrueView is meant for that. I actually dilute, like, it's starting to warm up. My
Mhm.
TrueView is like 3, 4, or 4 to 1 right now.
Yeah.
You know, if it's 10 to 1, it's a little too thick for me in the summer.
Mhm.
I get some streaking, but when it's, you know, diluted down more with my spot free water,
Mhm.
man, it works so great.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
um, TrueView is my go-to for windows, unless I'm doing a ceramic coating. Then I use paint and prep on the glass because I already have it out,
Yep.
and I may be coating the glass, so I might as well just hit it anyways.
Mhm. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
cool.
So let's follow up with that. Anthony, the detailer life says because they're both RTU. So this, I just want to point this out because this is actually really important. So in the pints, TrueView is RTU, which is what we're talking about. It's 4 to 1 in
Yep.
there. But in the gallon form, it's full concentrate. So in the gallon, that actually, you would dilute a gallon down. And so that 1 gallon makes 40 pints of TrueView.
Yep. If you wanted to
So
go
I
four to
just want to
one.
point that out, that you don't want to refill your TrueView pint with the gallon. You'd want to dilute it down, because the gallon is technically in the chemtrol line, which is meant to be diluted. So I just want to point that out because I don't, in the gallon form, it is not ready to use. So, and there's dilutions on the back. Like Kyle said, it's 4 to 1 or 10 to 1. Cool. And
Cool.
then Samantha, real quick on that, can I do a
Ooh,
spraying dressing class? Absolutely I can, and I can do a video on it. But if you want something fast, if you go back, oh gosh, probably within the last month or two, if you go to the Rag Company YouTube channel, there was a live that I did with them where we were working on one of the Grandambassador's Jeeps. It's an orange Jeep. So if you go back through their live events, I think it was like a Wash Wednesday live event. And oh my goodness. So go back through those and find the one with the orange Jeep. And that we actually did the whole spray odyssey on the whole undercarriage of that Jeep, the tires and everything. So everything that was in that live would basically be what I would do in a video. So if you want to check that out, go back and look at that because we do specifically spray them on. You get all the close-up shots and all that good stuff. So go check that out on the Rag Company YouTube channel.
Is that the one that you did with it might say Jeep detail with Sydney glass leather such and such?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. It's an orange Jeep Rubicon.
Yep.
Yep.
I
Yep.
heard
I
that.
just found the link. I'm going to send it to her.
Awesome.
Cool.
Cool. Very good. All right. One more quick one from Terry. Recommendations on airbrushing coating on rims. Have you done that? I haven't.
Yeah,
Cool.
I've done it. It works great on lug nuts. Wear eye protection, wear respirator because you're going to be, you know, making a vapor.
Mhm.
You can spray it in there. You don't really have to level it because you're not going to be able to up in those lug nuts. You can try your best by putting a microfiber in there,
Mhm.
but it works fine. I've done it on calipers. I've done it on wheels when I had them off.
Mhm.
I don't take wheels off as much as I used to. I think it used to be a lot of fun. Now I just hate it.
Mhm.
Unless I had a lift. I don't want to do it with jacks or a quick lift anymore. Just stressful.
Yeah.
So yeah, it
Yeah.
works fine. I've done it on side by sides to do suspension. I've done all the shocks and stuff on. It works fine.
Yeah.
Nice light layers. Put many light layers and build it up.
Yep. Cool.
Cool. All right,
All
guys.
right. Hey, Gabriel, thanks for joining us. You can go listen on the replay, hopefully when they post it. But thanks for
Yeah,
joining us from the Netherlands.
we
Very
think we
cool.
should
All right,
find
guys.
out.
Anthony, I will send you a message about your last question there because that's a little bit of
It's a long one.
that's a long one. So I'll make sure to get your answer on that. So thank you everybody for joining us.
It was fun as always, a great Monday morning. And we're hoping, as a little teaser on the next Bead Maker and Coffee, we are hoping to have a very special guest, Rennie Doyle. So make sure you watch our social media. We are hoping to arrange for that. We have to have him on for a special reason. So if all the stars align, we will have Rennie on with us next time. So thanks you guys for tuning in, and we will see you in 2 weeks from today.
Bye-bye.